Hi, I'm Dr. Ataii from Laser Dental Center. I've been practicing dentistry for over 27 years now. So I started my career as a dentist really picking out of a hat. My dad wanted all of his sons to be doctors of some sort, and the reality was he wrote all the different professions and put it in a hat, and luck of the draw, dentistry popped up, and here I am. When I started to see secondary decay, I mean, as short as 6 months, sometimes to a year, when we saw the patient in recall, I would see a little bit of radiolucency in the x-rays, and that created a big problem for me. I was worried about, is it my dentistry? What's happening? I'm getting some shrinkage, and it really started to concern me. So I started my investigation of going into the realm of restorative materials. So I discovered and learned the word Giomer technology, and the reality is when you start to look at the Giomer restorative benefits, when you see the bioactive, the fluoride releasing, more importantly, not having that secondary decay that you see on patients as short as I said, 6 months, sometimes to a year, I really wanted to have products that are going to be bioactive and help my dentistry. One of the main reasons why I recommend talking to patients about Giomer restorative material is because patients need to understand that fillings and restorative material are in water. And you want something that's hydrophilic. You want something that the saliva doesn't break down. Then you have a material that actually repels acidity rather than adhere plaque. And you have that around your marginal area decay, secondary decay. And not having that secondary decay in the patient's mouth is important because the patient needs to understand, even if they floss and brush, it could be the material that's not as great. And now, you've broken down not just the patient's tooth, but their really attitude towards dentistry. And what made me happiest using the Giomer restorative materials, not having the secondary decay, not having the breakdown of the restorative material, not having the post-op pain, and the technology and process that is being made, I can really stand by telling my patients, this is over a 100-year-old company that is doing the research, and the material I'm using, I could stand behind because I believe is the best material in the market. But again, you look at the research and data that shows zero failures. By failures, we're talking shrinkage, breakage, sensitivity, and for me, that is a great success that I've seen, but I can tell you firsthand in my practice in the past 9 years that I've used it, I've had no issues. One of the big achievements in my practice using the Giomer restorative material is really having a wide array of patients that I can treat, from chairside veneer, brush on, make sure it has the luster and shine, to as well as a geriatric and pediatric patients, the patients who are fidgety or a lot of saliva, the fact that the material is hydrophilic and is not going to degrade. I'm now able to have a wide array of patients that I can treat and really become the family practice that I advertise for. Where I see Shofu Dental Corp heading in the future is the same as they had in the past 100 years. They've always been in the forefront, what I like to call the cutting edge, rather than the bleeding edge. They're always ahead of the research. That all the materials that they use have biocompatibility, and they make sure that not just from the restorative, but I mean, I use their burrs, I use their polishing. There's so many products that Shofu has that I've used from dental school that I didn't even know was Shofu, that I think the future of dentistry is really going to be dependent on how us as clinicians understand and use these biocompatible Giomer restorative materials. Shofu, I thank you very much for making my practice what it is today.